What's up, collectors? Welcome back to Films by Color. Today I've got a news-related discussion video for you. I talked with my friend Connor, and we shared all of our thoughts on all of these upcoming 4K releases that Disney has been announcing lately. I hope you enjoy the conversation. All right, man, we have got to talk about all of this Disney news that has been coming out. We've talked a little bit about it, but not really. I think we just talked about it, that it's happening. I don't think we've really talked behind the scenes about this much at all. But if you don't know, Disney cares about physical media again?
What?
Like, they've been the worst. Like, we could agree, they've been the worst company for physical
They've been
media
the punching bag of
for
like
years now.
online collectors for like 5 years at least, right? Like,
Yeah, if they even do put any physical version out, it's a terrible release. It's either a bare bones, Banshees of Inisherin with like no special features and a crappy, flimsy little single disc case with no slipcover, or it's a deluxe like collector's edition, and it's just a glorified slipcover that they do for all their Target editions for the Marvel movies and the Disney movies. They've been sucking it up lately with the physical media, but are they turning it around? New management? I don't know. We're going to talk about it right now. We're going to go through a few examples that they've put out, that they've announced. Nothing has come out yet. We'll see if they put their money where the mouth is, but they have been announcing a bunch of stuff and it's coming out soon. So I'm very excited. And I've got my good buddy Connor here as always. Not as always,
everybody.
as sometimes. And we're going to go through these and I want to get your thoughts on them. I'm going to give my thoughts on them, and then we'll maybe talk about some things we would like to see in the future. So let's go ahead and pop the first one up. The first one that was announced was Prey, which is a movie that I haven't seen because I'm a plebe. And but everyone's been raving about this movie. I know, at least I've heard a lot of good things about this movie. It came out last year. It was a Hulu original.
Yes, it went straight to streaming. Yeah,
Hulu original, majority owned by Disney, and nothing for the whole year. People who wanted this movie on physical media were just twiddling their thumbs, and they probably gave up at this point, not expecting Disney to ever come back and release this. But they announced it now, out of nowhere, right out of the blue. And not only are they releasing it, it looks pretty nice. It's a steelbook.
Yeah, they have a steelbook, and what was also cool is during the proper announcement that you can see from any number of news sources, they do have a standard jewel case with slipcover editions on 4K and on Blu-ray as well. Although I do think it's a handsome steelbook. As we'll continue, we will notice that there is a template being used, but it's not a bad template. I'll take it over an Ultimate Collector's Edition, banner or whatever. But,
oh god, yeah.
But yeah, no, the backstory to this one was interesting because it was a 20th Century Studios movie, and this was one of those things that they were filming it while Disney acquired Fox, and I think like that's why it just was sort of dumped on streaming, is like during the COVID era, like a lot of the 20th Century Fox movies of the early acquisition bombed hard, so they just kind of didn't really know what to do with all these things they had. I'm glad that it's getting some kind of presence. I personally did not care much for the movie myself. I found it quite mediocre, but I'm glad that fans of the movie can really get their hands on it, because I know there are a lot of fans of this movie. So good on them. And this did lead me to anyway speculate about this, because this is 20th Century Studios, and we're going to talk more about Disney stuff later on. But I was not expecting the route that they took. The route they took was sort of the whoa, am I dreaming kind of route. But last year, there was 2 films that they released to theaters in wide release that did not get any physical media at all. And that was Barbarian, which was a horror movie.
Oh yeah, that's the other big
summer.
one. Yeah.
And then last fall, through Spotlight, they had See How They Run with Sam Rockwell and Saoirse Ronan.
Oh, did that not?
I
thought that was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I didn't see it. But those 2 movies got no physical media announcement whatsoever. And so and I know that it's different with Prey because it's 20th Century Studios. It's different than Spotlight, which, sorry, Searchlight.
Mhm.
You know, but they're related, I think. But I don't know. In my head, those three were kind of similarly tied. So I don't know if there's anything in the future planned with those, but this gives me hope for it. What are your thoughts on the whole Prey situation?
No, that's a good call. I was just thinking of it as I was thinking about it more from the like streaming only aspect. Just like, hey, maybe Disney will start releasing more of their straight to streaming releases on physical. But yeah, I didn't even realize the connection with Searchlight. That's great because they put out a lot of good movies, and I want them to continue to get physical releases. Was it See How They Run? That
Yeah.
was. I don't think I would need to purchase that one, but it was enjoyable. It was a good watch. I recommend you watch it once. You might enjoy it. I know a lot of people accused it of being like Wes Anderson light. It was like he was really in love with Wes Anderson's film, and he made like a Wes Anderson fan film kind of. But I thought it was pretty good. But no, that's a
Look,
great
I
call
love
out.
Saoirse Ronan, so I will watch anything with her in it.
Oh yeah, and you got her, and you got Sam Rockwell. You like crotchety old Sam Rockwell, which I don't. I like fun clown way back Sam Rockwell because he's great. But no, that's really exciting news. Thanks for bringing that part up. Like I said, I did not see Prey, but it has a huge fan base online. People that really like it, especially people who haven't liked any of the Predator movies in a long time. Pretty much all the way back to
Look,
the first one.
for my money, the best Predator sequel is still Predator 2. Okay, that movie rocks.
But that's exciting. I know. Hopefully, who owns Barbarian? So you said Barbarian was Searchlight too?
It wasn't Searchlight. I think it's 20th Century Studios.
Okay, just 20th Century. So hopefully, I mean, I'm not a huge horror guy, but I know that there will be so many people that will be excited about
that
that
movie's
movie.
awesome. That movie's awesome. Like I think you would enjoy it. Like
I probably would.
Yeah, like it's nutty. It's crazy. It's so much fun.
That was early last year too, right?
It was the summertime.
Okay. I remember hearing that.
It was
like the
enough.
rest of the year, people were still talking about it.
Yeah, when it finally it did okay at the box office, but when it hit streaming, like it went to Max, HBO Max, and it lived there for a long time, just like See How They Run. And when it hit Max, it was like huge. Like everyone was talking about it because a lot of people were finally watching it.
I mean, I've dropped Max. I think I dropped Max like last year, the beginning of last year. So I've been out of the loop on that stuff. But yeah, there it is. We all know I'm not a huge Steelbook guy, but that one looks pretty cool. It's a double disc, and I thank you for mentioning that it was 4K because I breezed right past that part. But that's good too. Like that's a whole other aspect of this is like Disney's doing 4K stuff. Like, are they going to do a Banshees 4K? Like all the stuff last year they put out was just Blu-ray and nothing. Like there's nothing on it. It was like the slimmest disc you can get. So speaking of 4K though, the next thing I want to talk about here is look at this. What okay. So I'm obviously very excited about this one. I don't know if Connor cares at all, but we got so last year. So this is Snow White. Snow White's coming to 4K, Ultra HD Blu-ray digital combo pack as a part of their 100th anniversary line, which has a slipcover, which is great. I think there is a steelbook too, but it's like those crappy. Have you seen those at Best Buy, like the Disney 100th anniversary steelbooks where it's just silver with a little tiny
looks like a
picture on
10.
it? Yeah. Don't like those. So there is one of those, but there also is the slipcover version, which I will definitely be picking up because they just did their first 4K last year, and they hit it out of the park. This is amazing. I don't know if you've seen screenshots of this or looked at any videos about this, but it looks great. Really, really good. And I was happy with it, but this isn't one of my favorite Walt Disney Animation Studios films. So like all I was saying when they announced this was, why aren't they starting with Snow White? Why are they starting with a 50s film for like the middle of the end of the Silver Age almost? Well, we're getting Snow White. Here it is. The next one. You have to do this one. Like this is the first one. This is the one that needs to be cleaned up the most. This might be my favorite Walt Disney Animation Studios film. Like when we did our top 10, it was like number 3, I think. Yeah, I think it was number 3. And it goes up and down. I like it more and more each time I see it. This is one that I grew up with, and now I've watched it with my son and my daughter, who's just 3. I just introduced her to it a couple months ago. And she loves it. Her biggest thing right now is she's into Wicked Witches. She calls she watched Wizard
Oh,
of Oz,
really?
and she loves the Wiki Witch. She wants to be the Wiki Witch for Halloween, and so she loved the witch and Snow White. And she's so much cooler than me. I was terrified of the witch when I was her age, but she loved it, and I can't wait to get this. I hope they do a really bang up job with the restoration on this. The specs sound good from all the videos I've heard talking about it, so I'm excited about this. I don't know where they're going to go with this, how many of these they're going to do. There's no way they do all of them. I mean, they haven't even done all of them on Blu-ray. Like Black Cauldron just has a DMC exclusive Blu-ray. But if they just hit the big ones, yeah, that's cool. I'll be happy.
Yeah, I remember was it like 2017, maybe a little earlier, through 2019. I think that there was like that it was like the Walt Disney Signature Collection.
Yes.
Like
that's actually what I have. I have the Signature Collection for Snow White, which is really nice. It's really cool. You can't really see it on camera. It's got like a nice shiny blue foil text on there, and like a little stamp, Walt Disney stamp down there.
Yeah, I enjoyed those. I enjoyed picking those up. But then they just kind of stopped. So I guess they don't do them anymore because Disney's like, well, we don't do physical media no more.
They do something similar on the Disney Movie Club. They have like white slipcovers. They just did Peter Pan and Jungle Book, and it's like the original movie poster, but it's not exactly this. So you're definitely right about them. Just they are not afraid to just cut and run if the money's not there. So hopefully they don't do that with the 4K. Everybody go out and buy these 4Ks. This one was a Disney Movie Club exclusive for a while.
Yeah, I know you got that because of the Disney Movie Club exclusive. Has Cinderella gotten like the straight to stores one yet, or is that still coming up in the next month or so?
I don't know the exact date, but I know it is coming or has already come to stores. But yeah, it was originally a DMC exclusive, and I was very happy to have that. One of the only times I was happy to have my subscription because right after I joined, they stopped doing any exclusives basically. Like they've been doing these, and this is another thing that I hope they don't stop doing. They've done a volume 2 of this that I don't have yet. So those are cool. But yeah, they're kind of like maybe they've been working on this stuff. Maybe that's why they haven't been.
That'd be cool. I mean, I'm gonna get Snow White. That's a movie that it's like one of like the 5 animated Disney movies I actually watched when I was a kid.
Oh wow! So we have that in common. I didn't have.
I really like
either.
it. My favorite Disney character growing up was Dopey. I loved Dopey. He was like my favorite.
Dopey's great.
And I've always had a soft spot for Snow White, and I haven't seen it in probably 20 years, maybe more. But I'm looking forward to grabbing that, and that was a surprise when Cinderella moved from the Disney Movie Club exclusive into like it was like announced that they were moving it to like stores, like you go out and buy it at a later date. That was surprising to me. I was impressed, obviously, but it seemed like a mulligan. And then this cover art on this release, it looks similar to that Cinderella one. It's kind of like how like maybe there's a little bit of a template going on, which is fine. Like I'm not dogging on it, but that signals to me that like they might want to continue on doing stuff like this. Because the Walt Disney Signature Collection eventually, like when you got into 2019, they did start putting out 4K releases next to those Blu-ray releases. So you had like Mulan got a 4K and like The Lion King got a 4K. And so now it's really cool if they are going back for like the 100th anniversary. Although the 100th anniversary is almost over. Like you got 3 more months. Is it just going to be Snow White and Cinderella?
Yeah,
I wonder what else they're going to do.
I really don't like branding them like that. I don't like when they do that in general. Like Warner Brothers is doing that a ton right now. Everything that comes out has that dumb banner at the top. Even like The Flash has that. And it's like so weird. Like, so this is the standard release of The Flash coming out in 2023, and it already has this big anniversary banner at the top. Super weird.
That's true, but it's The Flash. Who's going to buy it if you don't have some kind of branding on it, right? They're going to put Warner Brothers 100. They're going to put DC. They're going to put Michael Keaton on it. They're going to put everything they can to try to sell it, and no one's going to buy it because it sucks.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about more like the James Dean films they're putting out, have that big ugly banner on top.
Oh, yeah, certainly. No, and but you know what, though? Honestly, those catalog titles that they're doing for the 100th anniversary, apparently those remasters are amazing. And you know what? I've been making a point to buy all of them. Although I have not seen Rio Bravo and East of Eden in stores.
Oh.
So I wonder why not. All the others, Enter the Dragon, Maltese Falcon, Training Day, I've seen all those, but for whatever reason, those two that came out the same day did not see those two. And I want to get Rio Bravo. Come on, what's up?
Come on, Best Buy. So yeah, you're right. There's definitely a template here. They've got the princess, and then they've got kind of like a collage of imagery from the film in their dress, which is fine. It's not amazing or anything, but it actually looks really much nicer in person with like the way this slipcover shines. They're already, though, the top is different. I'm wondering if that's just this image or if they've already changed their mind on how they want the top to look. But the banner at the top is better, I guess, but it's weird that they're changing it so quickly because that banner goes all the image goes all the way to the top, and then on this one there's like two banners. There's like a purple one and then a white one.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
So, who knows what it'll actually look like? I'm not too concerned with that. I do want to see it in 4K though. I'll be excited to hear what you think about it for seeing it the first time in 20 years. You said I have a much better appreciation for Snow White after going back and watching all of the like 30s and 40s shorts that the studio was putting out before they did this, and seeing how all that animation translates into a feature film, especially with all the animals. Mostly the animals in that film really remind me of a lot of stuff they did before that. So I don't know. I really, really like that one, and I'm glad they're doing it. And now they just need to do some other of my favorites, like Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Can we get those? Can we get a release? Those have never been released as the shorts that they are. Do you know like the whole backstory of that? Those were released as shorts first.
Yeah, I think I heard you mention that on another channel. So it was like they were shorts, and then that was sort of like it
was like before a film. Like it was Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree, and then the second one was Winnie the Pooh, or the second one was Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day or something, and then the third one was with Tigger. So like those were shorts, and then they added in the 70s. They like collected them together and added in little animated bits to like connect them together into a film, which is great. And I love the film. I don't want that to be erased. I'm just saying it would be really cool to see those original, the way they were originally released. Like I can't even find them like on the internet anywhere. Like that
would be a really awesome ultimate collector's edition. Why not? Where it's like you can watch the movie, but also just so you're aware, for the education of it audience, these are the individual ones. It doesn't have the connected bits, but here they are in their individual bite-sized pieces. That would be great. You've won me over, DJ.
Yeah, I hope they do that. That's a little later. That's like the 60s. Actually, the film didn't come out till the 70s. But if they want to do other stuff, like, I don't know if they can get away with doing Dumbo these days, but I'd love to see Dumbo cleaned up. Pinocchio would be awesome. So hopefully they can do some more of those.
Fantasia. I think Fantasia would be prime for a 4K.
Yes, that would be amazing. That's a good call. Any of the first 5 or 10 would be great.
The pre-war stuff that they were doing.
Do the war stuff for me, man. Ichabod Crane and Mr. Toad. Whoo! I would buy that in a heartbeat. Watch that every year at Halloween and Christmas. All right, let's move on. Very, very excited about that one, if you can't tell. And let's move on to some TV shows, kind of TV shows. Not really. There's 8-hour movies. They also announced, so if that wasn't crazy enough, they did a Fox movie, then they do a Walt Disney classic movie, and now, just to really cement, if you thought it was a fluke, like just to really they got to be doing this. Has to be intentional by their marketing team, right? They're like really sending this message that I hope that's what this means. I hope this means that they really are coming back to physical media, because streaming wasn't all it was cracked up to be, and it's a huge fail. So now, hopefully, that we can turn things around and we can start doing some recoup some of those sales of physical media, because they announced some Disney Plus shows. So first one that I want to talk about, because this is the one I'm most interested in. We're doing WandaVision, man. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
It's a 4K steel. Is it 4K?
Yes.
4K steelbook of WandaVision. This is probably still my favorite Disney Plus show. I don't think anything has topped it for me yet. I haven't watched barely any of them. I've only watched. I like this and Hawkeye, and did I watch any other ones? I've started several of them. I started She-Hulk. I started Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I started Loki. I dropped off of all those, but WandaVision I actually enjoyed. And that one, it would be the one that I would like to own anyway, because it like, just like Snow White is like a part of history, like as the first feature length animated film. This is a part of history too, even though it kind of crashed, went off a cliff pretty soon. But like the first, Marvel streaming show that was like in canon, supposed to be this big deal. You know where it went. But I would like to own this one, and it's cool that it's getting a physical release, and I might even buy a steelbook for it. Who knows?
Yeah, it's interesting because them doing WandaVision is interesting because I don't know what plans they have for Vision or Scarlet Witch right now, if any. So them putting this out does feel like we're just putting it out to put it out.
We're not trying to hype up a new movie or something.
Yeah, because I know that Loki is getting a release. That was the third one. And it's getting released before Falcon and the Winter Soldier because the second season of Loki is coming out. However,
they promote that second season.
But also, I know that like they had like listed, like there was some kind of like fluke where they had listed Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They didn't have any like artwork or anything to go with it, but then they had to quickly remove it. And I have a hunch that is getting released to correspond with the release of Captain America 4.
That makes sense.
So that does make it interesting to me anyway, that they are putting out WandaVision. And that to me, that maybe suggests that at some point they want to put out all of them. It's one of those things where you're talking about like streaming, wasn't exactly the cash cow anyone thought it was going to be, just because Netflix eventually became profitable, making, money hand over fist. Not everyone's going to like, it was really the only game in town. And once everyone has a game in town, I'm just like a little surprised it took them this long to really have this strategy, because isn't the first rule of like marketing and business, or not maybe the first rule, but one of them, to diversify your revenue streams? Like having streaming is one revenue stream, but then putting them out on physical media, or you can purchase it in another way. That's just another way to have someone buy your stuff, right? Like I don't get why it took them this long to do it, because I don't know. I was just thinking about it this, like I watched the Snyder Cut when it came out, right? And I watched Peacemaker when it came out. Both of those were on HBO Max. And then sometime later, they put out Peacemaker on Blu-ray. And when I went to go buy it, it came with a digital code. I was like, what? Like, I thought it, like the digital version of it was just going to live on HBO Max. But you can buy HBO Max for a month and watch Peacemaker, or you can just go to Vudu and buy it there. It's like, amazing. You can buy the product in multiple different ways. Like at the end of the day, that's more money coming your way. So I am a little surprised it took them this long to get wise to that act. Now I don't expect these 4Ks for the Disney Plus shows to have any digital code attached to them. But it is cool that we are getting the discs. It is cool that we are.
Yeah. I think they were just so focused on Disney Plus. Everything was towards Disney Plus. They didn't want anything competing with what could be a subscription. So if you can buy a physical release and maybe potentially not subscribe, then we don't want that. So we're driving everybody to subscription. And now that that's, like you said, completely caving in on itself, they're like, well, might as well get it where we can. And let's at least.
It is amazing though, because it's like if your Captain America 4 movie is coming out, I would expect that to generate more eyes going to Disney Plus to rewatch Falcon and the Winter Soldier, maybe, as opposed to right. And because it's like when I think of them putting out WandaVision, it's like, well, no one is buying Disney Plus on a monthly basis for WandaVision anymore. So now we can put it out and collectors can buy it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Maybe they just they're far enough away from it now that they can feel like that, but they could have done it a lot sooner.
Yeah, I mean, I wish they would have. I'll probably get WandaVision. I did not like Loki. I was also not a fan of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, so I don't know if I will get those. But like we say, I'm just happy that they're getting released, and they do seem to be putting effort into the release. It isn't just a bare bones discs in a jewel case.
Yeah, I mean, it's bare bones discs in a steelbook, and you get art cards. Okay. I gotta put this out there. Does anyone actually care about art cards? Like, do you like
Oh, I
art
don't.
cards? What does anyone do anything with them? We just take them out, look at them once, and then put them back in the box, right?
Yeah, right. No, certainly. But there are bonus features on these, right? Like there's deleted
Yes,
scenes.
yes. We should talk about that a little bit. I don't have that pulled up, but there was quite a bit, and never before seen bonus features, not just like rips from the streaming service. Like there was, because I figured they were going to put that on here. Like they do those like documentaries after each one of these shows comes out. It's like
Yeah,
part
the
of that
assembled
series.
thing. Yeah.
I think that is on here, but there is a couple other new bonus features, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Like I said, I couldn't get into Loki. I watched like one episode, maybe a half of a second one, so I won't be picking up Loki. But yeah, like I said, I will get WandaVision for the history of it, and it's genuinely the one that I liked the most. I don't know how it'll hold up on rewatches, and that's the one that was like the biggest phenomenon, right? Like people are actually talking about, like normal people, not like superhero comic book guys. Like that was like normal people were watching WandaVision. That was like an event. It was like something new. Like it was a thing. It was a different kind of thing. Whereas all the other ones have just been kind of standard Marvel movies stretched out. But yeah, I would like to have WandaVision. I will be picking that one up, and I think I would pick up Hawkeye if they put that one out. I enjoyed that
I
one
would
enough.
too.
I enjoyed that one, and it's also like a Christmas show, so that might be one that I pop in like if I'm feeling for a superhero Christmas thing, because we don't have very many of those. Iron Man 3, but yeah, I like to pop that in around the holidays. Maybe watch an episode or two. You know, some of the best episodes. So I picked that one
Yeah.
up. Hopefully they put that one out. That's the Marvel stuff they announced, and then they also, and I'll have nothing to say about this. Maybe you'll have something to say about this, but they put out they announced Mandalorian season 1 and 2, getting also the exact same kind of steelbook art card treatment. So yeah, I know a lot of people are going to be excited about this. I said WandaVision. I guess I was talking about the Marvel ones, but Mandalorian was also a huge phenomenon for the first 2 seasons.
2 seasons. Yeah, yeah. No, I was kind of amazed that they announced both of these seasons. That was, I think, pretty cool. And I don't know, it suggests that you don't necessarily have to wait some arbitrary 3-year span of time before you can finally see these. You know, maybe you can wait 2 years, you know,
Yeah.
maybe less. And that would be cool. The one thing I really have left to say about these, like, so if you look at, you know, the WandaVision, the Loki, these Mandalorians, and then look at Prey, there is a pretty similar concept, you know, template that they're using. But the difference here that I find kind of interesting with these Disney Plus shows,
especially between the season 1 and 2, they're very similar.
Yeah, but Prey is having a standard 4K release independent from a steelbook, and these
That's true.
Disney Plus shows only appear to be steelbooks, although they are getting 4Ks and Blu-ray. Like they're separate. They have the same art on them and everything. And
oh, interesting. Steelbooks. If I gotta get a steelbook, I'll get a steelbook. But yeah, like it would be nice to have options. It would be nice because they have a running deal with Target. They keep releasing those. I don't like them. They're just like a floppy slipcover with art cards in it. But yeah, they have been putting those Target releases out forever, even though they've downgraded them. So it's interesting that that these are. I mean, I guess that's fine. Like if that's the compromise, like we're coming back to the physical media game, but we're only gonna do like one. Like we're not gonna spread ourselves so thin. Like you get one, take it or leave it. I'm fine with that. Like that's okay. But like you said, the contrast between Prey, even a lower budget thing, more niche thing, getting 2 releases, that's got to be something with Fox, right? I don't know. That's interesting.
Maybe, but it does signal some kind of like gimme, right? Because the thing with like the Fox catalog titles is those were all transfers that were being done before the merger. So the Home Alone movies, Die Hard, I think Die Hard was maybe before the way when they merged, but there was like all of these 20th Century Fox classic catalog titles. Speed, I think, was one of them that were coming out on 4K, and apparently the work was really good. Heat, I think, was one of them that got delayed and delayed and delayed. But you know, once those dried up, Disney was like, yeah, we have no intention of reaching back into the 20th Century Fox catalog at all. maybe this suggests, they want to return their attention to that because Fox has a great catalog, just so much there. What's it called? Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans, will be celebrating its 100th anniversary in 4 years.
What?
That could be cool, I think it would be cool. I don't know.
That's some pie in the sky wishful thinking for sure. But hey, I'm with you. That's a good segue into, so we can talk briefly before we end about stuff that we'd like to see. Straight Story.
Oh yeah, you know it. Look. This is the there's a whole thing I forgot about. Okay, this is great. I'm gonna put it right here before we go into the speculation on what we want to see. I remember after it was like WALL-E came to the Criterion Collection, and everyone's like, what does this mean? And then it turned out Andrew Stanton just wanted to be on the team.
It meant nothing. It's like he just really wanted to get a Criterion Collection. That's it.
But then, I guess it made enough of a splash that like Disney was like, we're signing, like we're maybe reconsidering our class, like our catalog titles, and everyone's like, ooh, huh? And they're like, and we're teaming up with Mill Creek Entertainment, and everyone went, what? No. And so I heard nothing after that. Like I heard like zilch.
Yeah, I wonder if Disney actually looked at the Criterion sales and were like, oh, what? People still care about discs? Maybe. I wonder how well WALL-E sold. I'm sure it sold pretty well.
I was talking to my guy at my Barnes and Noble, and he's like, yeah, we always have like that really majorly stock because that thing sells. But yeah,
it's cool.
So I heard nothing about the Mill Creek partnership after that happened. I don't know if it's gotten into effect yet. I don't know what, but this does seem to suggest more of an, a vision towards keeping it back in house, vamping up physical media more. Anyways, kick it on over to you. What do you want to see?
Oh, what do I want to see? Put me on the spot. See, I should have done more prep for this. Obviously, I want to see a lot of the older Disney stuff. It's funny because I can't even think of the last Disney released film that I loved. I haven't even been really ragging on them about not doing physical media because I don't want any of their stuff on physical media lately. Like they have not been putting out great movies lately. So I do
love that awkward interview for Strange World. Have you seen that one? That's wonderful.
No, but I accidentally bought that one because I didn't respond to the email from Disney Movie Club, so they just sent it to me. So I have that on 4K. Unfortunately, it's fine. It's not terrible, but it's.
Oh, I never saw it, so I can't.
It's like if you could think of a more 2.5 film on Letterboxd, it's just like right down the middle. It's fine.
But yeah, I don't know. I think. Look, I think if I'm, Nightmare Before Christmas just got a 4K.
Exactly. Oh, that's another one we could have brought up. Like
that's not Disney though, is it? It's not Disney, is it?
Its own. They own it. Like
I know they own it, but like who made it though?
So I don't know who owns it, but they have definitely been putting it out. All the physical releases have been put out by them for a while now. This is the DMC exclusive that they put out last October. They put out this and Frankenweenie together. And I'm kind of kicking myself for buying that. I thought it was cool at the time because they were nice. These are actually glow in the dark slipcovers, which is kind of cool, I guess. But now they released the 4K, and the 4K looks amazing on that. I sent you some screenshots, and stop motion always looks great in 4K. I'm kicking myself for just buying this last year right before that came out. But yeah, that's another one that they're putting out. So I don't know. It seems like they've been working on this for a while.
Could be.
They're dropping it all at once.
I want to see the Straight Story, although if Andrew Stanton can use whatever leverage he has to maybe get that over at Criterion somehow, I don't know how, but that would be cool.
David Lynch could maybe pull. Does David Lynch? I feel like David Lynch doesn't even know about the Criterion Collection. Does he even pay attention to the releases at all?
I mean, he's got his signature on the sticker.
He probably just someone pushed it in front of him. He just signed it and then went back to making weather videos.
Yeah, he hasn't done that in almost a year. I miss it. I miss his weather videos. I miss him pulling a number between 1 and 10 out of a jar every day.
Yeah, but I'm sure if he cared, he might be able to get the straight story, like to get Disney and Criterion together. But I don't know if he's really itching to get that released. There's a
We'll see.
lovely imprint release. If you want that region-free imprint Blu-ray,
Yeah,
it
but
looks nice.
the transfer's not great. So I don't know. Yeah, I want the straight story. You guys all know the ones I want.
Yeah. I don't have any that are really popping in mind. Maybe we should do. Let us know if you guys want us to do like a top 10 that we would love to see. That could be a cool video, like top 10 most anticipated, Disney-owned physical releases, because it seems like they're back. Hopefully, I mean, I guess time will tell, right? Because if people don't pick these up, they'll be like, and put their tail between their legs and run right back. But hopefully, everyone picks these up. I think these are going to sell great. I think
Yeah.
at least Prey and WandaVision, Mandalorian's probably going to sell great. Star Wars fans are going to love that.
They're picking the stuff that like they know collectors get. There are Marvel collectors,
and that's another good thing. They
Star Wars collectors
seem to be understanding the collector market more. We're a little bit late on this. It's been out for a couple of weeks now. I mean, it's been coming out. I'm glad we actually waited, because if we would have done,
I just figured they'd be releasing more info. like what's next? Are they going to announce the Mighty Ducks Game Changers in a Mighty Ducks trilogy 4K set? What are they going to do next?
Yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, I'm glad we held out, and we waited till all this bombardment of news stopped before we did this video, because we had quite a lot to talk about, and we're kind of all over the place. But bottom line is, we're excited to see where things go, and we'll be back talking. We got a good setup now for me and Connor to talk. So we should be doing more discussion videos coming soon. All right, so those were some of our thoughts on this Disney physical media situation. Be sure to let us know what you think about all of this news and which of these releases you'll be picking up. And as always, keep collecting, and I will be back with more physical media content real soon.